Okay, hello. Back on the old Madonna stuff. Okay, potential death dates for Madonna. There's a whole bunch of them. I've really resisted the last few days, and I could have put like 3 or 4. I could have done 3 or 4 dates already in July. Um, but I've got a couple now that I'm going to discuss with you, and the two that I'm focused in on at the minute is actually tomorrow. I always like to do them the day before. So the 18th of July and also the 29th of July, the white wedding date as well. So those are the two dates that I'm going to look at. And we'll just go from we'll just jump right into it and have a just have a look at all these numbers and see where it takes us. Okay. So if you've watched my latest decodes, been looking at the 8-1 in the dollar bill. Okay. This is actually the 8-1 or the 18th or some number surrounding that idea of 18. I've looked at loads of numbers for potential sort of Hoover Dam dates. I kind of like, with that last decode that I did, you have to go back and watch it, but I kind of like the 1st of August, simply because it fits in with the idea of the quarters at the bottom of the dollar bill. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, we're not going to be talking about this for too much longer. The 8-1, and obviously we see 8-1, it's hinted at again with the phone. If you want to phone a free number, free as in being out of the matrix, being free, it's usually a 1-800 number. Okay, so that 1-8 again, super sort of coded for being free. Okay, so anyway, just get a swig of tea. Where do I even want to go with this? Okay, so this is why I'm picking on this song from Madonna, Cherish. Okay, is simply because it's released on the 1st of August. It caught my attention, and I'm like, I'll go check the music video out. And so we'll do a quick whiz through the music video. We'll talk a little bit about the numbers, and then we'll be done. Recorded 88. Okay, the importance of 88. Of course, the reason why 88 is so important is if we go from, and I'm going to drop this into this video as well, just a little side note. If we go from May the 5th and we go 88 days, it's going to take us to the 1st of August. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to sort of be aware of. Okay, that the 55 and the 88 are in a relationship there, and we're getting to the 1st to the 18th to the 1st of August. Okay, and again, let me just show you the chart of Lorraine just to re-clarify for new people. Okay, this is just something that I use in my decodes. For more information on it, go look at this video here. Okay, but what we're talking about is all these numbers relate to balance, and so we can look at these numbers, see how they sort of interact with one another, look at different patterns in the table, and maybe we can get some idea of what that's, what the metaphor we're looking at in reality is talking about. Okay, by using some of these numbers. Okay, 55, 88. Okay, importantly, the difference between these two is 33. Okay, the number of Christ. But again, we're 55, the 5th of May, we're going 88 days, and it's going to take us to this point right here. Okay, now the center of the table is right here. Okay, so this is super important right here. Okay, and we have obviously the 11 here that we would like to reference as well. So of course, if you look at the dollar bill, there's also an 811 in play. There's the 1-8 in play, and there's also 8-10 in play, with the with the billfold that I show you, where the what do you call it, like the breastplate shield comes over and meets up with the big O. Okay, if you've not seen my decodes, you probably should go back and watch some of those, and that will explain where these numbers come from. Okay, but again, this is the importance of these numbers, right? So let's get rid of that, and we'll come back to this table here in a minute. Probably, I don't know, maybe. Obviously, you know, the number 143 here, something to bear in mind. Of course, if we look at the gematria surrounding cherish, okay, we can see that, you know, 43 is in there. We've got a 70, so a 7. We've also got, you know, and 7 is obviously the column that's to do with balancing out the two twins, okay, the 5 and the 6 column in the table. Let me just show you that very, very quickly again. Okay, so the 7 column here, you know, it's all to do with balancing these two, the metaphysical and the physical, the twin towers here. Okay, this is why Tower 7 went down, and of course these two towers, okay, also went down. Okay, this is about resurrecting this Trinity. Okay, is what is happening, I believe, is what is going on with the metaphors in reality right now. It's the resurrection of the Trinity, and you know, it's no, you know, the symbolism is there. You know, the trident running down the side of those buildings. That's, you know, another thing that was removed. The 3 into 1 type idea. You know, this balance idea again. So anyway, now I'm trying too wiffly waffly here. Let's go back to this. So anyway, you see these numbers: 43, 7, 1, 1, 9, a 9, 11 in there, and a 38. Okay. And again, you know, I don't know if it's, do I really want to spend a whole bunch of time keep going backwards and forwards? No, let's just leave it at that. Okay. Let's actually just go to the video and crack straight into it. Okay. So they're at the beach, they're at the seaside, and basically all they're doing is they're basically just, you know, playing at the shoreline here, in and out of the water. Okay, so to me, when we see this, this is really an idea of what would I say? It's an idea of going into and coming out of, you know, this thing here, the sea, the mare, okay, the Mary, okay, and then you've got the land here, okay. So we've got this, we're at the shoreline here between two different states, between the physical land and the metaphysical sea, okay. So again, we've got this idea of backwards and forwards here, okay. So we start off with a kid, with a child, a newborn boy, you know, well, a newborn boy is not, he's obviously a few years old, but the idea of the child coming out of the water, and then all the way through the video, basically, we're in and out of the water here, okay. And of course, there's scenes with her doing all kinds of, I would love to just play it and talk over the top, but I'm afraid of getting a silly copyright strike, so it's just going to click through it as usual. But again, we got the black and white with the colors they've used in the way they film this thing, just in black and white, okay, to get that idea across again about the two different sides of reality, okay. And there's several scenes in here where there's the idea of man going into Madonna, the way she's laying around and receiving the wash on her, and there's also ideas of her giving birth as well, okay. So you just have to really click through the video and or watch the video to get these, you'll get the references as you go through. Again, we've got three main guys with the mermaid tail. Okay, so I guess they're mermen. Okay, but this is man in the system, yeah, within the matrix. Okay, and there's several times when she's laying on the beach, looks like she could potentially be giving birth. And at some point that little kid also has a tail on him as he's in the sea. Okay, but as we go through, and I mean there's one other little thing I noticed as well is I'm not sure, but I reckon that this little beauty spot, or whatever you call that, right, mole, I reckon in Like a Virgin, it's on the other side of her face. So I thought that was interesting, this idea that it's moved between Like a Virgin, because if you look at the video for Like a Virgin, that's all to do with going into the Matrix. Okay, I mean obviously there's a good Twin Towers reference right at the start of that thing. I think it's at the end of it as well, I'm not sure, but anyway, the Twin Towers is very prominent. It's, you know, just flat out right there. But that's all about going into the merchant system. That's why it's filmed in Venice. But I reckon, maybe I'm getting this wrong, but I reckon that beauty spot is on the other side. So it's like the thing's moved positions. So start, finish. I just thought that was interesting, that we have the 9/11 and then we have this beauty spot moved. This is being released on the 1st of August. So again, anyway, there we go. This looks like she could be giving birth at this point, or she could be this wash here looks like something. And his man popping his head out. See, this is why I think it's more likely to be it could be I mean it's both things. It could be to do with going into the system, which I think it is, and it's to do with coming out of the system. Okay, so again, here he is with his head popping out. But there's lots of little bits like this. Head above water. Let me see if I can find that other spot. Hang on a minute. There's definitely some spots like, you know, like here where she looks like she might be giving birth. But that's what it's about, you know, like, you know, when you go into the ocean, when you are baptized, you know, into the water, out of the water. Okay. Here she's got a hold of the little guy with the tail. Okay. And so it's like this all the way through, basically. And as the sea goes in and out, you know, you get that idea of the cycle. Again, that's something with reproduction, in and out, in and out. And that is to do with, you know, this the thing that creates, how would you call it, the oscillation through reality that creates the peaks and troughs, that creates the cycle. Otherwise everything's just flatlining, isn't it? Okay. Like right here, she's going to do a little thing. This is like an Elvis thing as well. Elvis has that great big collar on, and with the low cut on it. And again, the idea is this is the Vesica Pisces. She's opening the Vesica Pisces here. Okay. Oh, Dan, she's just trying to be sexy. Opening the Vesica Pisces. Okay. This is the idea of opening the eye so that you can see both sides of reality. Okay. The eye, of course, the Vesica Pisces, the eye, the figure 1. Okay. So again, no, that was a good spot to actually talk about. But when we get to the end of the thing, we've got this guy back out of the water with the tail off again, back on land again, free again. Okay, so again, and she's just sitting there, maybe looking a little bit worse for wear. So there wasn't really much to a bit of a lousy decode, that damn, but yeah, you can see it's all the same. It's the same bloody symbolism over and over again. So what else do I want to do with this? So we did the release date. We've looked at the actual video itself. Obviously, the idea of water flowing everywhere as well in this video is quite, is something to think about as well. Just out of interest, while I've got this up, she's put a bump on here at the end of the video. If you look, see this, I'm hovering over the Immaculate Collection, Madonna's like big greatest hits compilation album. If you look at the little shield on there, it does kind of remind me of that shield on the dollar bill. At least the bottom part of it definitely does. I just thought that was interesting, that she chose that certain symbol. Okay, I just thought it was interesting, so I thought it was worth a mention as well. That's handy. We've just got that done and out of the way. What else did I want to mention about this? So if we go back and just have a look at the numbers in the chart of Lorraine now, okay, for Madonna, because I want to talk about the idea of, I guess I'm wanting to talk about the idea of, like, trying to think about, what would be a suitable date for Madonna to croak on. Okay, I hate to call it a prediction. I'm just trying to look at the way numbers work, and then we're sort of reverse engineering the metaphor, if you like. I don't know. But believe you me, you could have probably almost picked any date in July, and there's lots of significant connections between Madonna's birthday and a lot of days in July. So I'm not going to get too sidetracked with that right now. We'll just want to focus on this one date. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is, like, Madonna's numbers show up in a couple of spots, right? And so, hang on a minute, I'm not drawing this right. So again, they come right here, and if we just steal that 1 off of the 18 here, okay, we have a set of numbers here that has Madonna's birthday in it, the 16th of August, right? And then we have a corresponding set of numbers on this other side that we can pick out now. We're still that one there, so it matches. So this is, i.e., a reflection of one another. This 155, okay, and of course the 155 is the 29th of July. There's a reference to the 29th of July, one of the references, as the 155th day of the year. Okay, so this is really interesting. I think coincidentally, if I recall this correctly, I believe from I don't know if I'm getting this right or not, but from 213, from the 13th of February, if you go 155 days, it will take you to, I'm pretty sure it was the 18th of July. Don't quote me on it, but I think that is a connection there as well. So obviously, the 213, which I believe also relates to the 1st of August, could potentially also be connected to Madonna's death via this 155. Okay, so this is why I like the 155 connecting into a potential death, is because it's the opposite of her birthday here. Anyway, what that also leaves us with is, if you take these two numbers out, it leaves us with a 1 over here and an 8 over here. It leaves us with the 1 8 again. Okay, so that's also pretty interesting. So I like both the 29th of July, which is the 155th day of the year, and I also like the 18th of August as well, because it is also connects in with that number jump that I just told you about from 213, and it also is the 199th day of the year. I think it's the 199th day of the year. 166 left to go, something like that anyway. So it ties into this number 11 column as well, which is really nice as well. So I don't know. What else do I want to say about it? Okay, so you can also look here. This set of numbers right here is also a set of numbers that if you were to rotate that, just flip it round, just rotate it around the center point right here, you would also get 816. Okay, this 9 would flip round to be a 6, and we could just take one of these ones again. I don't mind reducing a double number back down to the single digit of the number, of one of its constituent numbers. I don't mind doing that for my decodes. Some people might frown upon it, but I don't. That's I don't mind doing it. So we have the 816 of her birthday, and that ties into. Let's change colours here. Of course, the 187 here. Okay, which again, that's Sean Penn's birthday. And of course, Sean Penn is Madonna's first husband, and they actually got married on Madonna's birthday. So they're tying those two dates together really well. Okay, so Sean Penn is the first man to go into Madonna. Okay, again, a 187 reference, and so the idea of coming back out, the beginning is the same as the end. Another 187 number for the death of Madonna, because Sean Penn marrying Madonna on her birthday is the birth of the Matrix. He is the man. His birthday is 187. So again, the death of the Matrix is the birth of man. Hence, a 187 number would work very nicely for that reference. Okay, so obviously, her death being on a 187 number would work very, very nicely for the idea of the Matrix dying and man re-resurrecting. Re-resurrecting? Just resurrecting. Okay, so hopefully that explains that pretty well. But again, I mean, we got these numbers here, we got these numbers here, and we've almost got, we've got also this as well with the white wedding numbers as well. And she does, I mean, again, the more I think about it, the more I like 187 now, but there's an awful lot of little bits and bobs that also reference back to the idea of the wedding day. Of course, Charles and Diana's the main white wedding, which was on 7/29. You can see, look, her death coordinates with that as well, on the 31st of August. Okay, ties into that date pretty well. And of course, in Like a Virgin, she is in a wedding dress. Billy Idol's White Wedding, of course, we've got a blonde chick in a wedding dress. We've also got the Hoover Dam reference with the Who's That Girl reference in White Wedding as well. The guy with the monobrow. And I think there's something to that thing with the eyebrows. And I want to say that even Sean Penn back in the day, his eyebrows were all almost connected together. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining that, but Madonna's certainly, you could almost have said she had an unibrow. But interestingly enough, recently in some of her pictures, did you notice that she had removed her eyebrows at some point here in the not too distant past. Maybe a reference to that idea as well. I'm not sure. So, I don't know. What else did I want to say? I don't know. I think I'm pretty much done on this one. I just thought I was interesting. Let's go to. Actually, we've also got the separation date of. Oh, let me show you this as well, how that ties in. So we've got Madonna's numbers here, and we've got Sean Penn's numbers here, and then the birthday takes place on the same day here. Well, they get divorced on this day here. Ties into the 5-9 that I was going on about for ages. But they get divorced on the 14th of September. So that is, again, it's interesting the way these numbers tie together. That's why, when I'm looking at the table, I'm looking for numbers that sort of cross over or reflect, or somehow tie together for the idea of birth and death and rebirth. What else have I got on this? I think that was it. I've got Live to Tell up here as well. What was that all about? Oh, I might as well go to this because this is, this is from the film Close. What is it? Bloomin' hell! What the hell is that called? Actually, it's probably written in here. I just watched it the other day. It's actually a pretty good film. Close Range, I think is what it's called. I can't see it. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. At Close Range. Okay, that film with Sean Penn in it. Okay. So obviously it's important. And obviously there's a ton of little references in this film to 9/11 and the whole idea of it's just a story about going into the Matrix and what happens and trying to get back out of the Matrix. Okay. There's some 9/11 references in it. There's some other bits and bobs of references and numbers. But actually, funnily enough, the better the film, the more you get caught up in the film, the less easy it is to. I'd have to probably sit through and watch that film again to really pick out every last little detail. But there's stuff like drinking the beer, that rolling, the Rolling Rock beer. So instead of the Corona that everybody's referencing now, obviously Rolling Rock is obviously a reference to rolling that rock away from the tomb. Stuff like that. What do I want to say about this? Released March 26th. Okay, I think March 26th is the 85th day of the year. Recorded in 1985. So Live to Tell, again, this is about coming out of the Matrix. Look at our length, 551 on the album. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. The numbers don't lie. I don't know. It is just super interesting. I mean, look at the symbolism here. The O with the target, with the cross on it, which is the target, which is the bullseye, which is the, I mean. Oh, wow. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there for this one. We'll call it good on this one. And look at the time, 11:59 p.m. Oh, I just turned to 12. So this will be out on the 18th. So the day of, maybe. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting little connections there. Possible Madonna death date. Okay. I'll catch you on the next one. I've got a really interesting decode on Back to the Future. I'll try and do it next, actually. I've got a little bit of time now. Alright, cheers, bye.